If you remember in Genesis, the Bible tells us that Enoch was taken up to heaven. He never actually died. Well, I found this fascinating book that details his journey into heaven. The latest versions of the story are written in old-style English, so with the help of ChatGPT, I've translated it into a more understandable version. This is the Book of Secrets, retold in modern English. Once upon a time, there lived a man named Enoch. One day, while he was resting, he experienced deep distress in his sleep, weeping without knowing why. Suddenly, two men appeared, larger than any human, their faces shining like the sun, their eyes glowing with light, and wings brighter than gold. Standing by his bed, they called Enoch by name. They reassured him, saying the eternal God had sent them, and that Enoch would ascend to heaven with them that very day. The angels lifted him on their wings to the first heaven and placed him on the clouds. Looking upward, he saw the ether. They showed him a vast sea, greater than any on earth. There, he met elders and leaders of the heavenly orders, and saw 200 angels who govern the stars and serve the heavens. They revealed the treasure house of the dew, gleaming like olive oil, guarded by many angels. The men then took him to the second heaven, where he encountered a darkness deeper than any on earth. There prisoners hung in sorrow, wailing endlessly. When Enoch asked who they were, the men answered, "These are God's apostates, those who disobeyed his commands and followed their prince, now confined in the fifth heaven." Enoch felt great pity for them. They called out to him, saying, "Man of God, pray for us to the Lord." But Enoch replied, "Who am I, a mortal, to pray for angelic spirits? Who will pray for me?" Then they took him to the third heaven, where he saw an abundance of produce, and, at the center, the tree of life. A magnificent, fragrant tree with golden, fiery leaves, bearing all kinds of fruits. Paradise, existing between corruptibility and incorruptibility, is prepared for the righteous who endure offenses and walk faultlessly before the Lord. Next, they led him to the northern side, where he saw a dreadful place of torment, dark, cold, and constantly burning with fire. Angels with fierce weapons inflicted severe torture. "This," the men explained, "is the place prepared for those who dishonor God, a place of eternal punishment." Then they brought him to the fourth heaven, where he witnessed the movements and rays of the sun and moon. He observed their paths and noted that the sun's light outshines the moon's. It never rests, moving constantly, day and night, attended by angels, 15 myriads by day, 1,000 by night. Enoch saw other creatures flying with the sun, called phoenixes and shelkadri. They were immense in size, with angelic wings, singing as they accompanied the sun. He was then escorted to the fifth heaven, where he saw countless soldiers called the Grigori. They looked human but were far taller, even greater than earthly giants. Their faces were sorrowful, their mouths silent, and no service was held there. Enoch asked why they appeared so mournful. "These are the Grigori," the men said. Led by their prince, Satan, they rebelled against the Lord of light. Some are confined in the second heaven. 3 descended to Mount Hermon, broke their vows, and took human wives, causing great evil. God judged them severely, and now they mourn their fallen brothers. The men then transported him to the sixth heaven. There he saw 7 radiant bands of angels, brighter than the sun. They maintain celestial order and issue divine instructions. These are the archangels, overseeing life in heaven and on earth, singing praises in sweet, resonant voices beyond human comprehension. Next, he was taken to the seventh heaven, where he beheld a brilliance beyond imagination. There were archangels, dominions, cherubim, seraphim, thrones, and many-eyed beings, 9 regiments called the Ionite Stations of Light. Enoch trembled at the sight, but the men comforted him. "Be courageous, Enoch. Do not fear." They showed him the Lord from afar, seated on a towering throne. Celestial beings assembled on 10 steps by rank, bowed before the Lord, then returned joyfully, singing, "Holy, holy, the heavens and earth are full of your glory." As Enoch stood watching, the men said, "This is as far as we can go with you." Then they departed, never to be seen again. Alone at the edge of the seventh heaven, Fear overwhelmed him, and he collapsed. But the Lord sent the archangel Gabriel to comfort him. "Have courage, Enoch. Do not fear. Come with me." Troubled, Enoch thought, "My Lord, my soul has left me from terror." Yet Gabriel lifted him like a leaf in the wind and placed him before the Lord's face. There, Enoch saw the eighth heaven, called Muzaloth, which governs the seasons, rain, drought, and the 12 constellations. Beyond that lay the ninth heaven, Cushivim, home of the constellations. Finally, on the 10th heaven, Aravoth, he witnessed the Lord's face, like iron heated in fire, emitting sparks and flames. In that eternal moment, Enoch beheld the Lord's glory, indescribable, marvelous, and awe-inspiring. Overcome, Enoch bowed down before the Lord, who spoke to him. "Have courage, Enoch. Do not fear. Arise and stand before my face for eternity." The archangel Michael lifted him and led him before the Lord. The Lord said to his servants, "Let Enoch stand before my face into eternity." Then the Lord instructed Michael, "Remove Enoch's earthly garments, anoint him with my ointment, and clothe him in my garments of glory." Michael obeyed. When Enoch looked at himself, he had been transformed, glorious, shining like the beings of heaven.